I took a few days off of baking and I feel very refreshed and I have an order to make. So it's for a jalapeno cheddar loaf and I'm always jealous of those. I'm gonna make a double batch just because I fed Eloise after neglecting her last night. This is where she was and this is where she is this morning. So she's quite ready to rock and roll. I am gonna use Jazzy's ratios with the lower hydration. So we will start with 600 grams of filtered water. Oops. That was $5.69. I like to sub out some for the pickle juice. I like to add some jalapeno juice. Jiminy Christmas to sub for the water. 600, so that'll be perfect. I will grind these up in the food processor later on to add in our inclusions, but for right now, I'm stuck my lid in there. So we're gonna do 250 grams of Eloise for a double batch. She is very happy this morning. She's looking quite lovely. I think she's going to enjoy her new home. Very exciting things happening over here. 83 works for me. Look how happy she is. Alrighty, let's mix this up just really quick here to get a slurry going like we would. I've been using the stand mixer. It just saves me a lot of time, effort, energy, and I think that all of us could use a little more of all of those things. So that's what I'm doing lately. I'm really, really liking it. A little bubble action going on here, and now we're gonna add 20 grams of salt. And 1,000 grams of bread flour. I'm so glad my mixer can do a double batch. If it were to go out on me, I would definitely purchase a larger one so that I could make more dough at a time, just because this has saved me so much time and just effort, energy. My bread looks better, they turn out better. It's not like I'm sacrificing the integrity of my loaves. Like, everything just turns out better with this recipe and using the mixer, so why the heck not? And I do take an aliquot sample of my dough. I have a pinned video with the aliquot sample of what I'm going to take from the dough here. It's just a sample portion of this to monitor the bulk fermentation, the rise of it. Once the dough reaches the lid, I know it's time to shape. The bulk ferment is done and it's time to go in the refrigerator. This chart that I found is pinned on my profile for you to screenshot. The temperature of your dough determines the size that you put in your 2-ounce container. So my dough is pretty darn formed. I kind of let it go a little bit longer just to see if maybe I won't even have to do many stretch and folds. I do want to add my inclusions, but my dough is 81.7 degrees, which means I will put the largest sample that we take for the aliquot portion, and that's going to be 43 grams. I smush it down. This dough, look how pliable and easy it is to work with. Whereas when you do a higher hydration, it's stuck all over your fingers. Granted, it is here, but it's not like, if you guys know, you know. So we're going to just put this aside. I'm gonna leave it for probably an hour, and then I'll come back and add some cheese and jalapenos if I need to use a bit of the jalapeno juice to be able to incorporate the inclusions. That's what I'll do. But that's what my dough is looking like. I'm just gonna move it to a bowl and I'll bring it back in an hour. I ended up letting this sit for hour and a half. Yeah, about an hour and a half. I guess it wasn't as long as I thought it was. The dough was looking very, very lovely. I went ahead and just shredded up some of the jalapenos. These are canned from my parents' garden. That's our aliquot sample. As I said, that will be what I use to monitor the bulk fermentation. I'm just gonna throw in some leftover shredded cheese just because I have it and I want to get rid of it. I also have my white cheddar that I like to use on these jalapeno cheddar loaves. I get that from Costco. But I'm just gonna put some of that in here. What do you want to put on? Put in. I keep forgetting to get to Trader Joe's to get their aglio olio seasoning, which I really like. It's like a garlicky, spicy blend, but this 21 Season Salute from there is also good. I like to use seasonings in my breads when I do inclusions because I just feel like it helps to ensure that every bite has a little bit of some goodness, even if there's not a piece of cheese or jalapeno in this instance. Look how beautiful this dough is. Wow, wow. Stunning. I very, very happy about this. That's for sure. And I'm gonna give it 30 minutes and I'll come back and add a few more inclusions. I don't know if I'm gonna need to do even that many stretch and folds on this particular batch of dough. See you in 30. 30 minutes has passed. We're gonna do round 2 of stretch and folds. Will I do more? I do not know. It kind of depends on how quickly this dough moves. As you can see, we have plenty of space here for our dough to continue fermenting, but I don't know, just mixing it up on the mixer kind of, I feel like strengthens up that gluten response, which is the whole intention and purpose of our stretch and fold. So I don't know that it's really necessary to do many more. I guess I could experiment again doing the unloads. I've done that before, not using the mixer though, or the lower ratios, or lower hydration ratio, I guess I should say. So that being said, we will add these and probably leave this dough alone. I don't know. I have not decided quite yet. But it's feeling amazing. Pillowy, soft. You don't want any of it with the jalapeno juice on it, Mabel. I'll tell you that much. We are about 9 minutes into this process. I think I may just leave it here, to be quite honest. It's pretty greasy with those jalapenos. I don't know, I'll check on it in about 30 minutes and just see how it's looking, but for now I'm pretty comfortable letting this probably just ferment for the rest of the time and then shaping it, but we'll see. I tend to change my mind.